Welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. I'm Dax Holt. Over there is Adam Glyn. Today is Friday, which means it's our Raw Rundown, where we get to all the top 10 entertainment stories of the week. Anything that you may have missed out on. Obviously, we're going to dive deep into this D4vd, which is David is his name, this murder case that is surrounding him. There's a lot of people pointing fingers at him, but we're going to get into what the latest are of the case, this body that was found in his frunk of his Tesla. We're also going to talk about Emma Watson finally responding to J.K. Rowling's and her transphobia. Emma Watson has finally kind of spoken up, which is a big deal. We're going to get into Rihanna welcoming her third baby, what the baby's name is, the sex of the baby, all the details. And of course, the Laguna Beach cast is getting back together for a 20th anniversary. A lot of people very excited about this, and they got all the big names. We're going to dive into all of this on the rundown. Adam, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. Hanging in there. I'm like kind of like this week. I'm like just relaxing.
Let's go with number 10.
Let's do number 10.
Number 10, Tori Spelling opening up about actually going on a date and I guess dating Charlie Sheen back in the day. He had briefly mentioned her during one of his during his book. The Book of Sheen is his new memoir, and mentioned that there was a moment where he kind of asked for her to hide him while the FBI was looking for him, and she kind of turned that down. Well, she opened up about this on her podcast. The episode went out on September 22nd. It's called Misspelling is the podcast. And she recalled going on a date set up by a mutual friend. This mutual friend is Kevin. I guess they've been friends or best friends for a very, very long time. Charlie Sheen was living in the same building as she was on Wilshire back in the time. And I guess Kevin had come up to her and said, "Hey, Charlie wants to ask you on a date." And she said, "Well, I remember being really nervous about the whole situation, but okay, we're just getting to know each other." And she was down for it. Well, she recalled him being unimaginably intelligent, charming, smart, funny, witty. So she really enjoyed their time together. But then she also said that it wasn't all great. She goes, she remembers this one moment where her friend Kevin called her and said, "Hey, Charlie's having a party downstairs. He wants you to come down. Well, she goes, "Okay, it's just going to be quick. Like, I'm here with my friend." And she said that when she knocked on the door, Charlie opened the door and he was holding, quote unquote, some apparatus, which was apparently a crack pipe. And she goes, "Oh, okay." And he offered it to her and her friend. And she goes, "No, we're good. Thank you." Like, she thought he was joking about the whole situation because it just seemed so far-fetched. And she said, "I looked in, it was just like a really gnarly situation inside of his condo. It was dark. There were bodies everywhere." And then he said, "Well, what other kind of drugs do you want? We've got everything in here." And she's like, "Nah, I'm good. No drugs for me." So, and moved along with life. But then getting back to that time where he wanted her to hide him, I guess Kevin called her up and said, "Hey, I need to ask you a favor, and where can we hide Charlie?" He goes, like, "The U.S. Marshals are out looking for him, so we need to hide him." And she's like, "No, I'm not into this. I'm sorry. I know what's going on in the news. I've been watching everything out there. I'm not into this, so move along with life." And that was the moment that Charlie brought up in the book, and just basically said she turned him down for a hideout spot, which was probably a smart choice on her part. She'd ruin her legacy by getting caught with him in the apartment and being an accomplice. So probably a smart decision.
I would love to be a fly on the wall during young Hollywood. During that generation where all the celebrities' kids were all partying and hanging out together. And I'm sure the celebrities knew what their kids were up to. I'm sure they're very curious of who their kids were hanging out with, who they were hooking up with, what was going on. There's no way they turned a blind eye to that.
I think that cast, that Beverly Hills 90210 cast, had the greatest upbringing. They became the most famous people on the planet at a young age in Beverly Hills. I mean, think about it. Tori Spelling was literally the princess to the Spelling dynasty. And so they were surrounded by money, by influence, by, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to imagine they went to the best parties, got the best upbringing, and it was all way before cell phones and everyone documenting every moment of your lives. And they could probably get away with a lot of crap.
But I'm thinking more of like Martin Sheen's son, Aaron Spelling's daughter, John Voight's daughter, Angelina Jolie. Like all these celebrity kids all partying, hanging out together. And I have to imagine these celebrities knew about it too, but they're also curious of what was going on too. And like
Hmm.
they kind of allowed that stuff to happen. Like it was part of Hollywood back then. They
Yeah.
wanted the drama. It was, first of all, it was good for business, but also I think they were like, this is good for my career a little bit too, to a certain extent.
Yeah, probably.
What they must have saw, what they must. I mean, there's so many secrets that are probably still not out there, but I don't think it's as fun as it used to be. I mean, hanging out like what do you got, like Rob Lowe's kids hanging out with Arnold Schwarzenegger's son Patrick. Like it's not like they're doing anything scandalous anymore. I think the celebrities have scared those kids into like a narrow lane.
Well, yeah,
You got
because you
like
think
Ben
if
Affleck's.
you're, I think with these kids, they're trained from a young age, like keep your mouth closed because the things that you say go out to the world and then could hurt our reputation. Like think about things that Blue Ivy, the things that she knows that she like is just normal to her, but she can't talk about because her parents are insanely famous. You know,
And they must
Northwest.
threaten their
I mean,
kids. I would think like a person like him threatens their kids and saying, "Listen, the more you speak, the more you hurt this family, the less you're going to get in the will." So they they have to do some sort of way of figuring it all out. But nonetheless, yeah. All right, Dax, number 9.
Laguna Beach fans, it's happening. There is a reunion set for the 20th anniversary of Laguna Beach. The cast is reuniting after all of these years, and it includes the big ones. You know, you always hear like, oh, so-and-so's reuniting. You're like, I didn't really care about those ones. But Lauren Conrad, Kristin Cavallari, Stephen Colletti, they are serving as executive producers of a new 2-hour cast reunion with Roku. They're bringing everyone back together, including themselves, which is, and whenever you see LC or Lauren Conrad like attached to something, you're like, okay, it must be big if she is taking the moment out of her busy schedule to sit down with the rest of them. But yeah, it's going to be a reunion special. I think people are very excited about this. Were you a big Laguna Beach fan, Adam?
I was. I mean, I still don't remember the episodes. I don't know if I could sit there and watch it still. I mean, I could probably watch it a little bit, but I really enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
So Lo Bosworth will be there, Talon Toriero, Trey Phillips, Christina Schuler, Dieter will be there, Jessica Smith, Alex Hoser. Like they're kind of getting everyone to sit back down. So I think this will be a pretty fun episode. If you are into it, it'll be free on Roku. So for all those Laguna Beach fans, I assume this will get some actually pretty damn big ratings.
I It's Roku, so we'll see what the ratings are for Roku. With that
Dude,
said, I
people will
also am
watch
very
this.
curious.
I'm sure people will tune in. Like Laguna Beach fans are pretty rabid fans, and I think seeing Lauren and Kristin together, I think that's going to bring a lot of people in on its own.
I know I know I know the main cast. Like I know a little bit about Dieter, but I know Talon. I know Kristen, Lauren, LC, Steven. But then when you mentioned some of the other people, like the random girls on the show,
Mm-hmm.
those girls I don't remember.
You want me to tell
The
them to
show
stay
was
home?
They don't have to come. They don't have to come. They're not going to make the episode. However, I am very curious how. I mean, which we'll never know how much they're getting paid to do it. If they're voluntarily doing it,
Oh,
I think it is a
dude,
great
I am
idea, but I'm
sure they're
curious how
getting
much they're getting paid
paid.
to do it. Oh, I'm
The
sure they're
the
getting paid, but how much they are going to do it. And then
Chris,
also, I'm just curious if they regret it because I think it was pretty insane to be filming these kids at such a young age and making a reality show. That I mean, that's a it's pretty insane to even
why
think
would they
about.
regret this? This put them on the map. Even if
Yeah, but it was
even
still a
if
little
you don't
wild.
even if you don't look back and think this was the most enjoyable moment of my life or me being filmed during my awkward teenage years, they're famous from this. Like their careers are because of this show at the end of the day.
Not all those people though, besides Kristen and LC and Steven are working in show business. Some of these people are working real jobs. And, how do we know they were happy with the edits and made themselves sort of, you know,
I'd
listen,
be
Lo
curious
Bosworth's
if
doing
you're
well,
like,
but
if you could go back, would you try to be more of a villain or would you try to be more outrageous so that you got more screen time so that you could be at the level Kristin Cavallari or Elsie is at right at this point?
possibly. But I will actually, I won't watch. You know what? I don't even know if I have Roku. I don't
You
know.
don't
I
have
would
a
say I've
Roku?
watched some
Like
clips
every TV
online.
in my house is a Roku on it.
I don't even know what Roku is. Does that sound so stupid? Like I don't. I get mixed up between the Rokus, the Tubies, all this stuff these days. I mean, I
Roku is
think I have a
just like
Roku.
it's just like you plug it into your TV and then it takes in all the different streaming channels and
Oh,
apps and
then I have a.
everything.
So it's on Roku. It's not on a streaming channel. I didn't know that you could do that.
Roku has its own channel that you can watch.
I did not know Roku had its own channel. I've never seen programming on Roku. I do have a Roku. That's how I watch my
The
Hulu and
reason I
Amazon Prime
know
stuff.
is my son got really into sumo wrestling at one point. So every
Are you
night we had to
serious?
watch, yes, swear to God, every night we had to watch sumo wrestling and it's on the Roku channel. And I don't even like it is wild and it is hilarious and it's all the things. And the only reason I know about Roku channel is because of the sumo wrestling.
Interesting. It's interesting that your son got into sumo. Sounds like you're a good influence. And I'd also start to question what drew him to sumo wrestling. But Laguna Beach, or it's going to be OC Laguna, whatever. It's going to be pretty cool. I will possibly watch that. All right. Number 8.
James Vanderbeek made a virtual appearance at the Dawson Creek reunion. Lots of reunions going on right now, but this one had a big cause surrounding it. So they were having a reading of Dawson's Creek's pilot at the New York City Richard Rogers Theater. This was a big fundraiser for the nonprofit F Cancer, and obviously Vanderbeek played Dawson Leary on the show back in the day. He is the main draw to something like this, but he actually is dealing with cancer himself, and because of that, he was unable to attend in person. I guess he had a stomach virus. He is going through stage 3 I don't know how to say this.
You
Colorectal
never say it.
cancer, I believe is how you say it. And he was really looking forward to being there in person. He just wasn't able to do it. He had to do it virtually. But his castmates were there. Katie Holmes was there. Joshua Jackson was there. So this was a really big night. He wanted to thank everyone, but obviously dealing with a lot of medical issues didn't allow him to be there in person. However, Lin-Manuel Miranda was the understudy for the fundraiser for him.
Very cool. I saw the clips online. I didn't see the clips online. I just saw the clip at the end when they're all singing on stage together. Dawson, obviously, James Vanderbeek was not there. I think his kids were there, I believe, like you said. Yeah,
Were you a Dawson Creek's fan? I didn't really watch Dawson's Creek, to be honest.
I did. I don't. Do I remember it? Like what happened in each episode? No. Did the show go a little bit past its prime? Yes. Is it a show that I'm going to go rewatch? No.
Mm-hmm.
Did the episode where his dad had a mannequin and taught Dawson how to kiss weird? Yes. That's the most important. That was the most weirdest part of the show. I remember that episode. Dawson's dad had like a mannequin and taught his son how to kiss. I was like, dude, this is getting weird right now. But yeah, I mean, I like Dawson's Creek. I watched it at its time. It was fun. I wasn't a One Tree Hill guy.
Okay.
I was Dawson's Creek, not One Tree Hill.
Yeah, I was more of 90210. Not really so much Melrose Place. I don't know. Those were.
I feel like the spinoffs never really kind of. It's like you love Saved by the Bell.
Oh, I love Saved by the Bell. I love Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell. I kind of watched California Dreams.
Okay.
So you don't remember that one? It's Saturday morning TV. But yeah, it's they did the event. I know there was a lot of build up around this event for a long time. All these weirdos came out because they're obsessed with this show and just want to see what the parents look like as they're older. I don't know. I don't know if I'd pay tickets, but there's a little charitable aspect to it. So I think it was pretty cool that Michelle Williams showed up. Again, overall, the thing was a very nice event. So number 7, Dex.
Number 7, massive lawsuit against Michael Jackson's estate going on right now. And it was all revealed because Paris Jackson was apparently asking, what are all of these expenses going on? Why the two men who are in charge of the estate, John Barranca and John McClane, they were basically, Paris is saying, I see a lot of charges on here. I feel like there's a lot of wasteful spending of the estate. I need you guys to kind of pull back. So the two executors, John and John, were basically being accused of wasteful spending. And so they went in front of the judge over the weekend. They said, look, it's not wasteful spending. We're actually being hit with a massive lawsuit right now by Wade Robson and James Safechuck, who are the two guys that accused Michael Jackson of assaulting them when they were children. Well, the amount we knew that they were suing him. We didn't know how much. It has now been revealed that the amount they're looking for, $400 million. And so basically the executor said, look, if we decide not to pay for all of these lawyers, that defaults, the estate is now on the hook for $400 million. So we need to push forward. I know it seems crazy to pay for all these lawyers who are watching over everything, but these lawyers are the only ones that are keeping everything in check. They have made this business, this Michael Jackson brand, go from owing millions and millions of dollars when he died to being a very profitable multi-billion-dollar estate. So they said, sorry, Paris, I know you don't like the crazy spending on lawyers. It has to happen. So crazy to see that is the amount of money that these two guys are looking for.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this Wade Robson's whole storyline, this has been going on for years. And it's been, I don't know if you want to call it dragging out. I don't know what's taking this so long to figure out what the deal is or what the solution is. I don't know if he's got paid out. Did he get, so he hasn't gotten any money so far after all these years?
I don't know if he has gotten anything, but he is looking for more, it seems like, if anything.
Yeah, he was. I wonder what he's doing now for money, Wade Robson. Now, I know someone's probably Googling Wade Robson because I remember he had a show on MTV for a little bit. And yeah, I'd be curious if he's just teaching dance or what he's doing because you don't hear about him all. But at one period of time, he was the biggest
huge choreographer. He was working with massive. Everyone. He was working with Britney. He was working with Justin and NSYNC, and he was just all over the place doing choreography. He apparently met Michael as a child, and I guess he was like 7-year-old when he claims he was sexually assaulted, and that carried on for many years, according to him. And then the other guy, James Safechuck, he claimed that he met Michael when working for a Pepsi commercial in 1986 when he was 10 years old. But he accuses Michael of sexually abusing him for quite a long time as well.
Yeah, he in 2005, Jackson was charged with child sexual abuse. Robson testified in his defense, saying he had slept in Jackson's bedroom several times, but has never been molested. Jackson was acquitted. In 2013, Robson reversed his position and filed a lawsuit against Jackson's estate. He said that Jackson had sexually abused him on 2 visits to the U.S. after he moved in with his family to the U.S. when Robson was aged between 7 and 14. In 2017, Robson's lawsuit was dismissed as the statute of limitations had expired. It was revived in 2019 after a new law gave those who allege child sexual abuse no longer to file lawsuits. The case was dismissed again in April 2021. I don't know if maybe because he defended Michael for a period of time and then kind of went, reversed his position. If that plays into it.
I'm sure it does because you're saying, hey, everything I said before, don't believe it now. And I think that's hurt his credibility throughout the years. You never know what stresses he was under at that time and being told you need to defend Michael or, fame is a crazy thing, you guys, and people will do a lot to help out famous friends. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm on his website right now. I guess he does teen dancer life mentoring. He also does life mentoring. He's got a podcast. I guess he still does a little bit of dance. So I guess he's staying somewhat busy. He's trying to get some work, I guess, through dance and everything. So he's still hustling. He's still grinding as far as this case goes. Actually, there is a Michael Jackson movie that's supposed to come out early next year.
Tell me about it.
Be fun. I don't really know much about it. I saw that. There was a thing that...
It's a biopic, I know, right?
It's a biopic, yeah, because I just saw a list of people saying that 2026 is going to be a great year for movies. There's Toy Story 5. There's a new Super Mario movie. They mentioned the Michael Jackson movie. And they also mentioned the new Scary movie that's coming out with Marlon Wayans. So, yeah, Yeah,
All right.
we'll see how this one
Curious to
plays out.
see how deep into certain topics they go. Like, will this new biopic called Michael touch on all of this stuff, the alleged child abuse, his relationship with his kids? Like, what do they talk about, or do they just stick to music and the more entertaining stuff?
Yeah. All right. All right, Dex. What number are we on? 6, 5?
I think it's 6 now.
Number
Yep,
6.
6. Emma Watson opening up about her very complicated relationship with J.K. Rowling's, the obviously the author of all of the Harry Potter books, and J.K. Rowling's has been very openly uh, against trans rights. Is that, am I saying that right? As she's been against trans rights, it seems like what she's
I
kind
would
of
say
normally
so. I think that's
very
pretty fair
vocal
to say.
about. So Watson was on the Jay Shetty podcast on September 24th and addressed that whole relationship because Daniel Radcliffe has kind of like gone off and been very anti J.K. Rowling's. Well, I thought Emma Watson summed this up so perfectly. Probably one of the best quotes about someone maybe you disagree with, but was also your friend in the past. She said, I really don't believe that by having had the experience and holding the love and support and views that I have mean that I can't and don't treasure Joe and the person that I have had a personal experience with. She then went on to say, I will never believe that one negates the other and that my experiences of that person don't get to keep and cherish, and to come back to our earlier thing. So she's basically saying, look, I shouldn't be forced to throw out all the feelings that I had or the love and respect because I don't believe, or I don't agree with what she has to say now. We had a good relationship. I will always cherish that good relationship. I don't have to agree with her at this point, but I also don't have to cast her into the ocean, you know?
I mean, nice. I'm surprised she said that because I thought there was a lot of anger between the two. But yeah, it seems like they could sit in a room together even though they disagree with each other. And I think now, obviously, more than ever, if you disagree with someone, that's just opinions, but doesn't have to get
Yeah, but
anything more than that. Or
that's the problem. I feel like this day and age, you, no one wants to be okay with disagreeing with someone on political views or on whatever. It's like, oh, well, we can't be friends. You believe one thing, I believe something else. Like, we can't be friends. We can't respect each other. We can't have just a differencing of opinion. I think that's
yeah,
the part that is weird this day. I don't remember this when I was younger. It seemed like people could disagree on politics or on presidents or on topics, and you go, okay, that's your opinion. This is mine. Okay. All right. Shall we go get drinks now? And it's not like that these days. It's very, like, I don't know. It's
polarizing.
polarizing, and people will throw you away or, you know, befriend you because of your political views. And it's so weird to me.
Yeah, I think Emma Watson's like, I would still potentially work with J.K. Rowling because she's been pretty
I
successful
don't know
still.
if she'll work
No,
with her.
I don't think they'll work together, but I don't think there needs to be. They're part of such a huge franchise that you can't really ruin that franchise based on someone's opinions.
No,
I mean,
and she's
opinions, not
just saying,
actions.
don't take it away from me. And she doesn't like the cancel culture side of it, you know, like, you
Yeah.
may not like the person, but you shouldn't just trash them and throw them away. So
By the way, dude, I love it. I think Emma Watson's pretty cool. I
she
think
is
that's
cool.
someone. I think she's so cool. I don't think she gets enough credit. I don't think we talk about her enough. I don't think we see her enough, and that's on purpose because she kind of likes this very private life, which I totally respect. I thought one of the coolest things I saw Emma Watson do was there was Halloween in New York City, and there was like a young kid dressed as Harry Potter, and she ran up and she goes, "Hey, can I take a photo with him?" And she took a photo with the kid, and I don't think the kid even realized who she was. And it was just like, and she posted on on Halloween. I was like, that's so cool. Like
That
that's
is cool.
such a fun thing to do, to like such a cool moment. But yeah, Emma Watson. That's one interview I would listen to just because I'm very curious about her.
Yep. Agreed.
I don't know. Weird. All right, number 5. 6?
All right. We are on 5. All right, let's get into this whole David or D4DV, as a lot of people are trying to understand how do you say his name. His name is David.
Yeah.
His real name is David Anthony Burke. But there is an entire murder investigation going on, and he is kind of at the center of it because there was a body found decomposing and dismembered in the frunk of his Tesla at the impound.
The frunk?
The frunk, his front trunk.
Front
So
trunk.
here's the
Okay.
thing. Yep. So on September 8th, a decomposed body was discovered. This was at an impound. His car had been taken from his home, taken to this impound. There was this rank odor that was coming out of the car. They opened up the frunk and found a body inside of a plastic bag. Well, David Anthony Burke is the registered owner of that Tesla. The body identified was 15-year-old Celeste Rivera Hernandez. She went missing back in April of 2024, so she's been missing for a long time. She's 15 years old. Los Angeles Police Department is treating this case as a death investigation, possible homicide, but no charges have been filed as of yet. Authorities executed a search warrant at David's house in the Hollywood Hills and collected a bunch of items like computers and other things as evidence. But he has not been named as a person of suspect. He has not been arrested, even though kind of all signs are pointing to David right now. I thought it was interesting that they're not considering it a homicide, but yet pretty sure she didn't put herself in a bag inside of a frunk. So I got to think that this situation is a lot more dire. They have handed over the body to the family to be able to have a proper burial. But there's a lot of things in this guy's music that are pointing towards interesting cues to their relationship. They met when she was super young. So this like kind of relationship that they had was already an underage situation, which is kind of creepy. Pointing towards tattoos that they both had. They both had the like tattooed on their pointer fingers. A lot of his music referenced stuff about her. So a lot of people very creeped out by this whole situation, and people, a lot of people on TikTok are now deep diving into signs and cues that he had in his music, or that she wore a blue wig that he once owned, like all kinds of stuff. And so we're going to see how this unfolds, and I'm assuming we're going to get an arrest pretty soon here, or at least a number one person that is a suspect.
People are drawn to this case. I think it's more of like a Netflix sort of series. I've been watching all these like docu-series about like how the person might have died, if there's a killer, homicide, all that stuff, and trying to figure out, everyone wants to become the detective, figure out who it was.
Yeah.
So I could understand why people are so into this story. So
people like death. People are. So he's
like
back.
Yeah.
So he canceled his tour. He is now no longer going to be on tour. A lot of like Interscope has paused all of his release of music. I know a lot of people that have done deals with him. They're all kind of backing away right now because in most people's minds, he is the main suspect. Again, the authorities have not called him a main suspect, but it just there's too many ties to him to like turn the other head, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that basically investigators are just waiting on the toxicology and autopsy results to really push forward. So it could be any day now. The information could break before our even podcast breaks that he is named, in my opinion.
What your thought? You think he has something to do with this based on everything you've heard about him and his relationship with this person in the past, or the mysterious?
I hate to blame someone before they've gone through the due process,
innocent until proven guilty.
But there's way too many things that are lining up here. Their relationship, their kind of creepy relationship, his car, like she's been missing for a very long time, but it doesn't seem that she's been dead for a very long time. So I don't know. I gotta say, it doesn't look good for him. How about that?
I don't trust the guy who just lets his car get impounded. That's what I'm like. How does that happen? Like, you're that lazy that you just got your car impounded. That means might be that lazy to leave a body in your frunk.
I don't think I told you,
can't say the
Adam.
word frunk.
Frunk.
What you didn't tell?
My buddy, I was talking to my buddy the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, like he was over there by the impound lot because his business is over there, and he was like looking out the window, and they could see that they had like something was going on in the impound. They had no idea the story hadn't even broken yet, and he was watching them like put up the white tent, do the whole
Really?
investigation, pulling the body out, and he was like, "What the hell is happening over there?" Come to find out, it was this situation, and it was the Tesla. He was watching it all unfold in front of him. Crazy, right?
Wow, that's pretty gnarly to see. Dax number 4.
Rihanna and A AP Rocky, they are proud new parents of baby number 3, and they finally got their girl. Rihanna has said pretty famously, she's like, "Look, I love being a boy mom, and I love my boys, but it would be really fun to have a girl." Well, she has given birth to baby number 3, which is a girl. The girl's name is Rocky Irish Mare, born on September 13th. However, they didn't release the news until September 24th. They wanted to make sure they had time to tell all their family and their close friends, the people that matter most to them, before releasing it on social media. She put it up with a photo of herself cradling a newborn who is wrapped in a pink blanket, and then there's a picture of like pink boxing gloves with ribbon ties. And so this was a big deal. I'm excited for them. I think anyone who is just like yearning to get that baby of the opposite sex from the kids that they already have, I think that's always exciting. So for her to have 2 boys and get that third girl, because the odds are normally, if you've already have 2 of the same sex, you're most likely going to get the third of the same sex. So she defied the odds and got her baby girl. So excited for them.
Oh, very nice. I forgot she was pregnant. I don't know. I just forgot about it. I feel like she's always been pregnant lately.
She has been pregnant for the last couple of years, but I was going to say it's like they announced it and then she just disappears. She's not a celebrity who goes out and is constantly seen out and around, like with the baby bump, like Cardi B right now. Everyone knows Cardi's pregnant because she's posting all these videos on social media of her dancing and in tight clothes. It's like, you can't forget that she's pregnant. Rihanna disappears for a long time, and that's why you forget about it.
Yeah, we'll see when she comes back out. I mean, usually these people try to hide, come back out once they start feeling good. I wonder where they're hiding, or where they're just I shouldn't say hiding, or residing as they welcome a newborn. But congratulations to ASAP Rocky and Rihanna. I wonder if ASAP is like going to have to start getting the
little snipperoonies.
Little snip. He's like, all right, this is enough, guys. But I wonder what it's like if you're a celebrity having that type of wealth. Are you waking up in the middle of the night, or do you have someone else doing that for you?
I'm sure you got people, bro. If I had the money to, like, sleep is something that I would spend a lot of money on, honestly.
Yeah.
I would be like, I want to sleep. Please deal with the baby waking up in the middle of the night. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I get it. Dex number 3.
Brooklyn Beckham breaking his silence with the whole family feud that he's going on, and really praising his wife. So, the whole family drama has been in the news over the last couple months. And he basically told the Daily Mail, he said, "Look, there's always going to be people saying negative things, but I have a very supportive wife." And this is what, I guess there was a photographer that was talking to him from the Daily Mail. He said, "Me and her, we're just doing our thing. We keep our heads down and we work and we're happy." There's been a lot of stories that Beckham, Brooklyn, has a no contact rule going on between him and his parents, Dave and Victoria, because there's just a big family feud going on, and it's just not good. So that was his comments. Very supportive of his wife. It sounds like he's been leaning a lot more towards her and her family than his own family. I didn't realize that Nicole, her family, are billionaires. Did you know that?
I did not know that. That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Nelson Peltz and Claudia Peltz are apparently billionaires. Maybe I'm just so dumb that I don't follow this news as much, but I guess he's been getting kind of closer to them and not so much the Beckham family. Yeah,
I'm sure Dave and Victoria are just probably ugh, really? But Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he's actually speaking about it. I don't think he really said anything
Nothing too crazy, just
nothing too crazy at
basically,
all.
yeah.
Like, I'm just
Just,
kind of
hey,
staying
we're
in my
keeping our
lane.
heads down. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he addressed it or acknowledged that there is some sort of feud in the family,
I
or
think
did he
he's
just
just.
sort
I
of?
think he's just the fact that he's calling his wife super supportive is, I think, the big teller right here. That
So there definitely is. I think at this point, like, no, there
oh
definitely is some
no, there
drama within the family.
definitely is drama in the family for sure. Just how much I don't know. All right, let's move on.
All right, number two.
Number two, Cardi B revealing a whole lot of information during her sit down on Call Her Daddy, the podcast. I mean, she is probably the perfect guest to have on that podcast. She doesn't give a fuck, and she's going to talk about everything and anything, especially sex related stuff. She got into surgery, she got into her piercings, she got into her sex freaks. I mean, she got into everything. Going back, do you remember that she got her butt cleavage pierced a while back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So she talks a little bit about this on the podcast, saying that she got her butt pierced and then she actually lost the diamond for the earring. And she goes, that one day I looked in my underwear, I looked at my pants, I couldn't find it. Apparently it had fallen into the toilet and she flushed it. I don't know what happened there, but she flushed it. She said
Seems
that,
something very easy can happen. Yeah.
yep. She was asked about, hey, did it hurt to get your butt cleavage pierced? And she goes, no, it actually didn't, because she had a butt reduction surgery. And so a lot of that skin around her butt is all numb. She doesn't feel anything. So she goes, it was actually the best piercing. I had no pain whatsoever. She said, a lot of people make fun of her about her butt, but she's like, I actually had it reduced. It was bigger than that before. And then she got into all the rumors about her having a stinky ass. She said a lot of people are making fun of her, saying that, her boyfriend has broken up with her because her ass stinks. She doesn't clean herself. She goes, that is the furthest from the truth. She goes, I'm obsessed with cleanliness, that I want to make sure that I never smell, I never have any odors. So that is absolutely not true whatsoever. Can you imagine saying this shit out loud?
It's a fair question. I mean, I'm not saying I see people on the stream like, oh, they must have a smelly butt, but you think, because that's a weird thing to say, but you would think after BBLs, after that stuff, there could be a scent there, but she was very adamant, saying I'm very cautious of smells and stuff, and I very precautious of making sure I don't have a smell.
Yep.
I mean, fun interview. I feel like you learned a lot about Cardi B.
She literally, can I read her quote? She said, there's a rumor about my boyfriend dumped me because my BBL stinks. And it's just like, the way this ass be getting eaten, it can't be. I also she said, I'm very anal about how I smell.
It's funny. It's
so good. She's so funny. She got into some bedroom fantasies about she'd love to have a threesome with another chick, and she said her fantasy is to be fighting over a dude's wiener. No, it's my turn. No, it's your turn. No, it's my turn. Anyway, listen.
She loves her toes played with. I mean, it's very graphic. Very graphic. I mean, there's a lot more there, but it's honestly, if you didn't know she was, and you listen to the interview, you would think you're listening to a porn star. It's just whoa, she's
you wouldn't think she's one.
It's fun.
She's so famous, and you were just like, oh my God, Cardi, your kids are gonna hear this one day, but she doesn't care. And I think her kids are gonna grow up knowing that mommy's crazy and it's awesome and people love it, and they'll be fine. They'll be desensitized to all the crazy shit mommy says.
Dax, the number one story of the week.
Number one story of the week by far was Jimmy Kimmel getting back on the air after being suspended for his Charlie Kirk comments earlier in the week. But his monologue actually broke his YouTube record for the most listened to monologue on the Jimmy Kimmel show, which is pretty crazy considering he's had so many monologues and so many big topics that he's covered over the years that people have tuned in to listen to him. But this one by far has dominated the records. The video got 14 million views in the first 15 hours of it being on YouTube. That blows away all of his previous records. You know, he had a really famous one when he discussed the details of his son's birth and heart disease, and that was about 8 years ago. It only had 14 million views in total. The breaking down of the Will Smith smack at the Oscars, because remember Kimmel was hosting that year. That one got a lot of views. Him talking about the mass shooting at Route 91. Him talking about President Trump's election. I mean, all of these have been massive monologues for Jimmy Kimmel, but nothing has come close to his monologue from earlier this week.
So the ratings came out. That's what I was curious about. I was curious about the ratings for this episode. I think it was
Yep.
like 6.1 million, which, to be honest with Dax, is still not that many. Now, granted, I think a lot of people just waited till the morning and watched it on clips
Yep.
of how many people actually watched it. But still, I'm sorry, the actual is 6.26. Landed 6.2 million people watched the episode. Or watched at least
That's
the
big
monologue.
ratings though for I think this day and age with TV. Most people are consuming content in a very different way. I think
Sure.
and I think if you added up all the views that this
On
monologue
social
got,
media.
you're gonna get millions, like millions and millions and millions. If you go and you look on all the IG video clips and YouTube and TV, like this was, and I have to say, I think he did a phenomenal job at this. This was a very touchy subject. It is a very polarizing topic. I
You
think
think he
people,
didn't? It depends on. Yeah. All right. Make your case. You think he
I've
did an
heard
amazing
both,
job?
even from both sides. I think people were very impressed that he owned the situation. He didn't necessarily apologize, but he
Correct.
towed this line where he acknowledged that he hurt people's feelings and said, "Hey, look, we should be in a place where we can have friendships and relationships with people of all different political backgrounds, and all of us go, okay, we get along at the end of the day." But he did acknowledge he hurt people's feelings, and I think for that he felt truly bad. And I don't think people are gonna be like, oh well, Jimmy just feels bad because his show got canceled. No, I think Jimmy actually, I feel like, is one person that doesn't hide his feelings, and he cries quite often on his show, and it's because I think he has a heart, and people saw that, you know, he regrets maybe the way that it was presented.
I agree with you for most things.
Okay.
I do think he is a very sympathetic person. I think there should have been an apology of some sort because again, his I apologize if you're offended. That was just say the word I apologize. He sort of did, but sort of didn't because again, his intention wasn't to poke fun of
Mm-hmm.
the death of a young man. I mean, it is a very awkward, weird situation. My argument with people is when it comes to the right of freedom of speech. Now, yes, you can say whatever you want, but when you work for people, it's hard. You can't really say what you want. You can say it, but there are repercussions. So, do I think the joke was that bad? No. Was it that great? No. It didn't. Each there are repercussions with that. So, everyone who keeps making the statement, it's freedom of speech, you can say whatever you want. Yeah, you're right. But when you say it using our platform, ABC, yeah, they're Disney. They can do what they want with it. So it's a
I
very
think that's the
touchy, weird
part people
subject.
forget. Yes, there is freedom of speech, like you said. If you want your freedom of speech, it needs to be on your platform. And I think that is what people forget. ABC is a massive conglomerate. And if they say, yes, you can have freedom of speech, but we need to have say so because at the end of the day, this is our business, this is our livelihood. You can't go walking around saying shit about your own boss and then expect them not to have a repercussion. That's what people forget.
I'm curious how the ratings stay for Kimmel for the next week, two, three, and where they go with it. If they drop drastically. If they're, what I would say is, what if I was producing this show, I would make an argument between Jimmy Kimmel and ABC and have them start fighting with each other a little bit to create drama, sort of like WWF, WWE style, so people
Yeah.
start tuning in more. And that's what would be good for business. Let them fight with each other, and people tune in for the fight internally. So that's what I would do if I was trying to boost ratings. But that is the Raw Rundown, the top 10 stories of the week. Thank you guys for watching. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Follow our private Facebook group, Off the Record. Check me out on social media at Adam Glyn, Glyn. Follow Dax Holt at Dax Holt. See you guys next week.
Later.
Guys, hope you like that video. We got a lot more where that came from.
Hit that bell, like, subscribe, share with a friend. The best thing you do to support us is really doing that. And we really need the money because we need hair gel.